I was excited to wear my shirt, down shirt after 60 days of t-shirts and very casual, working from home, but still, it's easy.
We cannot work in pajama all day long.
Listen, you don't know what's happening under my,
Exactly. Look, Sandro, I'm so happy that you accepted our invitation.
It's my pleasure.
This is our very first series of video podcast that we will broadcast in the next few weeks within our social media channels. And so basically what we will do is having a conversation regarding different topics. And I would like to speak with you, Sandro, about different interesting arguments that we talk about. And in the meantime, Marco Fontana, our creative director, will live hand draw.
I love that. Yeah,
this is a very nice.
Very, very, very cool. Very interesting.
Yeah. So first of all, I'd like to introduce our guest. Sandro Mardkha is the showroom manager of Roche Bobois North America, especially the showroom in Manhattan at 200 at Madison Avenue. A very important and very elegant and I have to say beautiful showroom in the city center of New York City, or in center of Manhattan. And Sandro, we are basically covering several topics during these conversations. And one thing that I'd like you to give us your opinion on is this situation that we are living right now and how this affected directly your business, seeing that you are physically leading a physical showroom.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, we're in this all together. This has been something that nobody expected, nobody saw happening. We're learning every day how to deal with it, how to cope with it, and how to reorganize ourselves. Madison Avenue, like you mentioned, is one of the largest showrooms in North America, one of the largest in the world, as a matter of fact. And we haven't really stopped working. We have been we've been working remotely, obviously, a sales team and admin team, designers, since March 15th. With great success. We've had the second half of March was as strong as the first half of March when we were still working at the showroom. The whole Madison team, which is composed by 7 designers, design consultants, sales associates, have been constantly working, despite the fact that we weren't required to work. But we knew that this at one point would end, and we would have to be ready and prepared. And the numbers have been exceptional. April obviously has slowed down a little bit, but we have been constantly working, touching base with existing clients, trying to close deals that were left in limbo when this whole thing happened. And but obviously also sending a message, a human message, rather than we're here to sell, forget about what's happening. It was most of the times it was just to call to actually see how our clients were doing. We have a good rapport with all of our clients, most of our clients. We just want to make sure that they're fine and they're well, and let them know that we're still in business, just in case they're interested in moving forward with anything that we left open before we shifted our business from home.
Definitely.
This worked extremely well for the first few weeks. The good thing for Madison Avenue, we were exceptional first 2 quarters in 2020. So we were about 6 to 7 weeks ahead of the game when we had to shut down. So with all being said and done, with everything happening, we're pretty much right now, we're year to date with last year, maybe a few 3, 4, 5% behind, which is, again, I think exceptional based on the fact that we've been working from home for 2 months now. So the good news is that based on the information that we're hearing from in Paris, government in New York and Washington, New York might be reopening between mid-May. Some more important businesses, end of May, beginning of June for retail. So we're prepared. Our showroom has been already, we still do appointment only. If a client has to stop by the showroom to review, we will make an appointment with whatever salesperson is available and interested in meeting them behind locked doors with masks, with nobody else in the showroom, and giving them a private tour, which is as long as the sanitary precautions are all met, then we're okay with that. Soon enough that will end. Hopefully we'll get back to work, like I said, by the end of May, beginning of June. We have already prepared the showroom with all the new collections. As far as this summer spring collection were supposed to be presented in May. The May promotion has been shifted to June now, to mid July. So it will be a 3 to 4 promotion, which for us works very well because it will generate a lot of traffic. We see that our clients haven't had any client that was shocked and appalled because we called them and asked them if they were doing good and if still interested in working with us. So we are interested. We're ready. We're also working with our contractors in order to build partitions between the sales associate. We're working on a different layout in the showroom. We're working with the cleaning company that comes 5 times a week with the new sanitizing and cleaning guidelines. So we want to be prepared when we get back to work. We feel that this has slowed us down a little bit. Business has slowed down since April, but we're working on some interesting deals that are in the pipes, and we believe that by the end of the month we'll be able to close and get even closer to where we were supposed to be. So it won't be the end of the world for us. It's not easy. I wish we could have kept the same in the beginning of the year. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But at the same time, this helps us when we go back to work. So high spirits. Everybody's. We have one-on-one meetings with our team twice a week. We have team meetings once a week. We have social meetings once a week, happy hours, and Cinco de Mayo, and Mother's Day. Obviously, everything via Zoom. And I see that the team is in good spirits and they're excited for the fact. First of all, nobody was fired. Nobody was told stay home. You're not getting paid. We're getting paid with government money, with the money that Roche Bobois has in the bank, and with money that we still generate by selling. So it has been interesting, and I think we'll be in good shape when we get back to work. Between the good weather, people love shopping when it's good weather. So May, June, July, the weather will start being beautiful. Hopefully the virus will start taking a step
decrease a bit,
decrease a little bit. The team is pumped. They can't wait to get back to work. I can't wait to get back to work. As much as I love my kids and I just need to get out of here, you know.
Yes, I totally know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, but it's good. So, you know, we're keeping a positive attitude, and compared to the other showrooms in the network, I see that, I don't know. I mean, listen, I worry about my team, my showroom. I see that other showrooms are a little more worried, a little more, not so sure about what's going to happen. I'm always a positive thinker. I always look at the half full glass, and I know that every day that goes by is a day that we're closer to the end of this, or at least to being able to deal with this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how this will work out in the next few months.
You know, I think that this conversation would be very useful for our community as well, since a lot of people that are following us on social media are leading and they are owners of small or bigger showrooms in Italy or in other countries. And I think that the example of an excellence like Roche Bobois North America, and seeing what they are doing, could be an inspiration, and also the good path to follow also for other people that are doing the same. And so in your opinion, June would be 1 month where you can actually restart to a kind of normalization of
the new normal. Let's call it a new normal, because like I said, the reason why I believe it will be successful, first of all, we know Germany opened Roche Bobois April 21st. They were ahead of the games, and the first month was exceptional. You know, again, I had good feeling. People we're finally out of the house. We can go out and look at beautiful furniture and shop and get back to some kind of and at the same time, we're working on high precautions, providing masks to clients that might walk in and want a mask. We have disposable masks. We have fashion masks for the team. We will be wearing masks. We have hand-free sanitizer stations throughout the showroom. We have, like I said, partitions between the sales associate.
So this is one way
We want people
work
to
the
feel
work will change.
safe and comfortable walking into a showroom. And at the same time, when we have a promotion, the advertisement creates traffic. And don't get me wrong, our clients are wealthy people. So a lot of them lost a lot of money, but they still have a lot of money. So
Sure.
and the market is growing, is getting stronger. So we're at 24,000. The Dow Jones is at 25,000 now. So it's not the end of the world. Obviously, listen, don't get me wrong. There's 30,000, 300,000 unemployed people. It's a daily thing. People are still dying. People are still losing loved ones. So we have to also be cautious of the message that we send.
Yeah,
we don't want to seem the people that are whatever, this is nothing, it's just a cold, because it's more than that. You just have to be smart about it and follow the guidelines and the regulations, and not say beautiful day. Cuomo said we can go out, let's go out and party. That's not. It's going to take a while before we can do that.
I'm doing several interviews, as I told you, with several players and international designers, architects, or showroom owners, or directors. And from what I see, in the United States, there is a very positive attitude in this sense, and there is willing to go back to work, to come back and be productive again. But in your opinion, what will be the biggest change that this situation will bring in the near future?
I mean, I know the biggest change will probably be from our side on how we conduct our business, on I don't know, the hours of operation, how many people in the showroom at the same time, limit the number of clients in the showroom. I go to the supermarket and they limit the number of people in the supermarket, and they give you only one-way lanes. You can't go back and forth. So we'll have to adjust. We have a big showroom, it's 2 floors, it's 2,000 square meters. It's hard to keep an eye on everybody that's walking around. We just have to be smart about how we do it. If we have to have, like I said, maybe by appointment only, just a limited number of people, have somebody outside with offering tea, soda to people that are waiting in line, especially now when the weather is nice, so that could be easier. Otherwise, the furniture, we still have the beautiful collections. We still have the know-how in Italy, the made in Europe. So that's what our clients come for. They come for the experience, and at the same time, like I said, we'll have to show them that we are aware of the situation, and that we're taking all the necessary precautions.
Sure. It's of course you are in the top level in terms of both products that you sell and also clients that you work with. What would be the advice that you would suggest to people who have, let's say, medium, low level showrooms and shops, how they have to change in order to keep their job?
Like I said, I think it's a matter of attitude. I think you have to have a positive attitude towards the future, towards what's next, and believe, first of all, in your product, believe in your team. Like I said, we're in touch with our team. If it's not on our one-on-one meetings, it's just a friendly phone call to see how they're doing, how their parents are doing, and at the same time speak about work and make sure that they're aware that we have a business, that we're going back to work soon. We want to go back to work as protagonists. We don't want to be spectators. We want to be the ones that will determine
main characters.
Yeah. And Madison is known for that. Again, I might be it's biased, but I know that Madison is not the same as every showroom, including Roche Bobois showrooms in our network. We lead by example. People look at us and they're like, they don't understand how we've been performing at such a level. And it's, again, my team has not taken the foot off the pedal for a second.
Sure.
Like they can be off, they can be, if they could be on their day off, but they still will contact the client, will respond to an email, will send out a quote, and we'll try to close the deal. So just, again, be prepared, be positive, make sure that the showroom, whatever showroom it is prepared to accept clients, and make the clients that walk in feel comfortable and safe to work in your environment. I think that's one of the major things. When I walk into a showroom, I want to make sure that everybody's wearing a mask, and I don't want to see that people are taking it lightly, because this will be counterproductive.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Makes any difference what industry you're in.
Especially in a place like New York, where the impact was really heavy, such as in Italy or Spain or other countries. And how do you think your country, and let's say New York City, in this case, managed the emergency?
I think New York State was strong with the governor and the mayor of the city. I think they took the necessary precautions. What will happen next, I think, is what will show the actual strength. Like I said, reopening is easy, but how do you reopen? Do you just let loose a little bit, or you still constantly checking, making sure that there's regulations and are followed and rules are followed? So what happened in Milan, it was one beautiful day, 5 degrees, and people were all over the place.
Doing aperitif.
Paris, people are on the subways. They're wearing masks, but they're on the subways with crowded one next to the other. That doesn't help. That's the kind of things that we have to see how the government will work, and what kind of options they'll offer to people as far as being on a train and feeling safe on a train. I commute. I take the train every morning. I want to make sure that I don't have people sitting next to me on the train, and I want to see how that works. But so far, they showed a lot of smart decisions.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this will continue with the reopening of New York in general.
Yeah, I think that both Cuomo and Di Maio De Blasio are doing a pretty good job in terms of trying to contain the epidemic, especially in your city. I was there basically 1.5 months ago, and it was so, interesting from a point of view, but also scary to see that, for example, in Italy, the emergency was already at a very high level, and there were starting to be some cases in New York. But you really understand that a specific city or a specific country, it really starts to get worried when the emergency impact directly that specific state. It happened in Italy with China, or in US with Italy. So if it doesn't happen to you directly in your face, it's very difficult to start and to do a lockdown as many countries did.
Yeah. Everybody has to be on the same, have to work together here. One person is enough to contaminate hundreds of people. So if we think we should be the responsible ones to mention something for our well-being and for everybody else's well-being.
From different opinions that I'm gaining with these interviews, some people are saying that after this emergency, after this pandemic, there will be a new era for different kind of things, starting from the architectural and the designing field, for example, where I talk with people of this specific field. How do you think this epidemic will change the interior design, the architecture, the furniture field after this?
It's hard to say. I think people will start using more tools like what we're using now for meetings to minimize the. Obviously, you will have to meet people to review plans, samples, fabric. But I think, I've never been in touch with them as much as I've been in touch with them during the last 2 months, and because of tools like Zoom, and I see that they appreciate it. I see that they like working like that, rather than scheduling an appointment and in the showroom when we have people in, and I have to take them away from the desk and sit and have a meeting with them. So I think we'll use more tools like we're using now. We'll still maintain our, we'll do our house calls. We'll still go to the clients in their spaces. We'll use masks. We'll make sure that we follow all the necessary precautions. We'll sanitize to give ourselves peace of mind and clients to know that they're not risking their health because of a sofa that they want to purchase.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. as we are seeing in also directly us, this will also help in terms of trying to concretize the time, so to use the time better, and also in terms of doing appointment. And from this point of view, also the roles of sales agents and traditional vendors will change in a way. And I think being able to work with digital media channels or digital technologies like we are doing right now, it will be paramount in the next few months, and especially for a country like Italy that used to be pretty behind from this point of view, and it has to understand very quickly how to work in this way. Otherwise, the risk is that you are cutting out of the markets.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we have to take example from countries that have already started going back to work to their new normal, like China. I mean, listen, China. Supposedly, this all started in China, and but if you look at what's happening there, based on what we can see, they're back. You know, they're back up. So Germany, the Roche Bobois will definitely take Germany based on the fact that our showrooms there opened over about a month ago, and with great success. So we'll have to take examples from businesses that have already gone back to work, both for the positive and for the negative results. If we see something that happened in Germany based on the fact that they open soon, then we'll make sure not to rush into something like that. The goal is to open as soon as possible. Obviously, this is a business that needs the sales and needs the income, and the sooner the better. But at the same time, it has to be done in a way that's not haphazard. It's not because Cuomo said we can go back to work. Let's go back to work.
Yeah.
And gradually, and maybe with a limited staff, maybe limited hours. Maybe instead of 10 to 7, we do 9 to 5 or 10 to 5. Something like that, just to give more security to the people working and people shopping.
Yeah, this is also the discussion that in Europe is going on in Europe. And one other interesting topic is also that right now we are actually seeing which countries can make it faster, can come back to normality, and can have the less economic damages. And in this list, I see China, US, and Germany, for example. But for several other countries, especially European countries, not to mention African or some other Asian countries, it will be pretty difficult to recover. Seeing that there is no much liquidity as for other countries like US, for example, where there is also a will in terms of cooperation, and this is something that is more difficult to see in European countries. Do you think that this will also help, for example, countries like US or China to gain even a higher leap between them and other countries?
I think that definitely some countries will gain more. I don't know if US will, and I believe that US will suffer, but I also believe that US will get back to the level where they're supposed to be. I just think it's also because of the people that run the governments. Not a political conversation here, but
yeah,
things could have been done differently. And
sure.
I'm Italian, so I can't even vote. So
so you are only damaged by this.
I'm damaged by this gentleman. But again, it's up to us to understand what's the right thing to do and what not, and do the right thing. US will get back to on their feet. It's inevitable. US is the power.
Yeah.
Maybe it could have been a little faster if things would have been done differently and we weren't in this situation the way we are today because of decisions that were taken back in December and January, or decisions that weren't taken back in December and January. US will get back to normal. It'll take a little longer because of many factors. But other countries that don't have as strong governments and leadership might suffer a little more. I don't see this. I don't see globally this to not turning to normal. Some will just take much longer than others to get back to their normal habits. Yeah. People suffer. People that lost their job might not find a job right away, and that's something that also has to be taken into consideration.
Oh yeah, and this will also affect the definitely the furniture and interior design field, both in in US, but worldwide. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
Roche Bobois manufacturers, all of our suppliers, all of our workshops have reopened between May 4th and today. They have reopened. Some of them haven't even closed. Some of them worked on a limited staff. So production hasn't really stopped. Slightly delayed. We still usually we offer 16 to 24 weeks lead time. We still are standing behind the 16 to 24 weeks lead time, including orders that were placed in January and February, even though weren't fully functional. But they might. But we haven't stopped producing. We have generated a lot of business. Our workshops are not owned by Roche Bobois, but we create a lot of business by offering those workshops the opportunity to manufacture for us. So they have been able to work. They also have been, I don't know, this is something that you might have than what I heard so far, but we heard that because of what happened, might be a situation in Italy, in particular, Italy and France, that in August the manufacturing won't stop like it usually does for the month of August, but something hasn't been confirmed yet. So.
Yeah, this will be the first time that Italians work in August in their entire history of time, which I think it needed one pandemic disease to start to work in summer. It's crazy. Yeah. Same thing from the digital innovation point of view. From what I'm seeing in the last few weeks is really run towards this innovation, these digital innovations that really started 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but only now companies, even bigger companies. No, I'm not only talking about small shops or bodegas. I'm talking about very big companies that with a turnover of millions of euro that didn't start yet this innovation in terms of the digital transformation. From this point of view, what do you think Italy and other countries like Italy should do in terms of keeping it up with other countries like US or China?
I mean, keep it up. They they have to change. They'll have to do some revisions to their what was done before and wasn't done the right way or could have been done better, and learn from mistakes. I mean, when this whole thing started, everybody was saying, and I feel that everybody is more kinder. Everybody is closer to people. My mom lives overseas. I never speak with her every day. I speak with her every day now because it's what I feel I have to do. You just have to figure out the right things to do and the right changes to make everything easier and smoother. It's as simple as that. For example, our showroom was closed, but last week we had Google go in there for 4 hours to do a virtual tour, 360 virtual tour that is now available on our website. So that's another great tool for us to contact our clients, tell them, listen, we've been closed, but we've been working behind the scenes. The showroom is nicer than ever. When we open in 2 weeks, this is what you have to expect. We have all the new models, and just take the tour, show them the tour. And I can guarantee you that will generate a lot of interest and definitely business. We get leads from our website daily. People that are still interested in furniture, they ask us to be put in touch with a designer. So this is another reason for us to contact our clients and just let them know, look at how nice, look at what we did to our showroom while you guys were waiting. And the little things that we have to be able to prepare and have ready on the table.
Oh, yeah.
When we go back to business.
Yeah, no, be ready is paramount in this situation, and definitely also be humble and recognize the limit in terms of what you didn't do yet and what you have to do in the future.
Correct, and take examples. Don't say, oh, I'm not going to take example from XYZ because their business is completely different than our business. Why not? If their business is successful, there's a reason for that, and I think it's no big deal to, like I said, be humble. Say, you know what, great job. Let's how we can implement that. And
even if it's something, if it's a company which is in a completely different field, but you can definitely take steps from that.
Absolutely, we have meetings with groups that are compiled from different industries. It could be health. It could be retail. It could be wholesale, and everybody has the same answers. And for our goal is to take the best answers that could work within our industry and change them and tweak them in a way that you can make it work for exactly the same, but to take some examples, and one of the main examples that we've been hearing, that is what is keep in touch with your teams. Don't leave them alone. Some of them are single. They live in a small studio apartment in the city. They've been stuck in their apartment for 2 months. I would be climbing off the walls if that was my case. Those are the people that you have to call, to reinforce, to let them know that they're, you're there for them. And when this is over, they're going to be back to be the number one in the world, the number one team in the world.
Oh yeah.
And it helps. We've been cooking a storm. We've been between myself and the rest of my team, we share our creations every day on WhatsApp. What did we cook today? There was a big shortage of yeast the other day, last month in New York, because everybody wanted to do it. Finally, we all got yeast again in the supermarket. So right now everybody's doing breads and this. And those are the things, you don't call them because you need to know what did they sell today. I know what they sell. I know they're not sitting back there and drinking wine all day long.
Sometimes, yeah.
But yeah, when we get back together, let's have a night and let's all get together in the showroom and just bring our creations and have a nice dinner, just as a welcome back thing.
This is what I'm seeing with my team as well. We are more closer now than ever. We are messaging on WhatsApp or other social media channels to keep in touch. And also we are now more used to use this different channels also to communicate for work, and not just for fun.
Another thing that Roche Bobois did during the pandemic, Roche Bobois USA, this is different from Europe, but Roche Bobois USA never had pricing on the website. The day this happened, Roche Bobois decided, let's put pricing. Same day, we started getting calls from clients. They finally see a price. They see that it's not as crazy as they thought it was. They want to get more information. We prepared quick ship lists. We always had a quick ship list to share with designers. We added pricing. All things to make it easier, make it rather than instead of calling back and forth. Oh, so for this mahjong is available and it's $10,000, and I thought it was $1,000. Let me call Roche Bobois and see what I can do. Little changes that we will maintain once this is all over, because these are what the clients want. Make the difference. This is what will make them remember that we were different than Minotti, than Cassina, than the other companies that don't have pricing. Or we're still not working on selling through the website, but that will be something probably within the next year or two. Roche Bobois in the US will start products, the basic products, through the website.
This is definitely a trend that will also be done by other.
Of course, in Europe it's already working for over a year now, but we need we need ways, like Marco is saying, new ways of meeting clients. This is what we do. We give them a reason to contact us. Okay, you have a price. This is interesting. Let's talk about it. Zoom. We've had design presentations for $200,000 projects via Zoom with clients, and they were extremely happy the way that worked out, with the screen sharing, with us sitting, the three of us meet the designer and the client, and just chatting and talking about the changes and what are we going to do in order to make this beautiful project come to life. So
definitely, I think in this way they also feel more included in the project, and they see that you are moving towards them with this new.
It's easy to take their money, but especially in a situation like this, it's easy to disappear. But the fact that they see that we're there, available 24/7, which is literally 24/7, is something that gives them a lot of hope. It was the right decision to put that kind of money in a deal, in a business, not knowing if Roche Bobois will survive or not. I mean, people think that Roche Bobois could go out of business, could go bankrupt. We proved them wrong. We gave them the feeling that they're working with a very reputable and strong company that has a lot of good values, and we did the things to be in the right place right now.
Definitely. And I think what one topic that you came out with, which is very, very interesting, is the new wave from both vendors and manufacturers of selling their materials. Because as you said, putting a price tag online, it seems so easy to do, but it is not really, because it's a change
especially for a company that's 60 years old and never posted a price on catalogs or online. But listen, we're adjusting. We saw that other companies did, and it's the right thing to do. And we still have products that can be customized. So the same sofa that we're putting online for $5,000, if you want it in a different fabric or leather, it could be $10,000. But at least you know where you're starting. And it worked well. It was the right decision, I think.
Oh yeah, especially now. This is also, I think, an issue that I thought that it would come out in 5 years, but seeing this situation now, I think it will come out sooner, which is the problem in terms of manufacturers of selling to vendors or selling directly online to final consumers or architects and designers. And this, I think, will be an issue in both Europe and US from manufacturers and vendors. They have to choose what they want to do, because they can do both. Of course, you cannot sell online if you are a manufacturer company and also sell through vendors. You can do that, but it's in the long term, it will be difficult to organize, I think.
Of course, it's. I think it's like I said, it's part of the new normal that we will have to adjust to.
Definitely. Okay, Sandro, it was a great conversation. I know that you are super busy, so I don't want to...
No, man, I appreciate it. It was really nice talking to you, and I appreciate the fact that you included me in this in your podcast.
Definitely. I think it would be
very much Marco's art at the same time. It's
exactly. This is the way we decided to try to overcome this period, using these channels and to maintain up the importance on and the attention on brand, but also on these types of conversation, because talking to you as a manager of one of the most important showroom worldwide, because this is it. I think it will be interesting for other showrooms owner in order to understand how do you manage to overcome this situation and what they can do from the...
One thing that you said, this was the first of your of those interviews, of those meetings. Eventually, I think what you could do, it's up to you obviously, is combine a group of managers and CEOs and salespeople and top designers and have a wider group discuss this situation and come up with ways together on how to start again fresh and how to make it successful, because it's easy to go back to work, but we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if June, with the promotion or not, will have traffic. Some people might have a better insight, a better idea of how to make this work. So that could be interesting eventually within a few months, when we're somehow back in our showrooms and in our businesses, to see how things have actually changed rather than what we're thinking today.
So I will invite you again in 3 months and do another conversation maybe and see what's going on.
I'd be more than happy to join you guys.
Cool. Sandro, thanks so much again. We'll be in touch, and I hope to see you in New York very soon, as soon as I can.
Always a pleasure. You're always welcome. You know that.
I know.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Marco. This was great. I really enjoyed your work, your art, and thanks for having me, guys. Okay, we'll talk soon.
We'll do.
Ciao.
Ciao, Sandro. Grazie.